Well, you are convinced now, you know what a case is and you want to write. But where do I start? Right? That's a big question. Now let me give you a simple framework for you to think about. Think of a triangle. You got a business situation, you got a learning objective, you got a theory. So these are the three corners. Any of the three corners you can start from. Okay? Most of you have a business context, in the sense you read a paper, an article in the Economic Times, or you read a paper, an article in Business Week. You got excited. Oh, this company did this acquisition. That should be an interesting story to write about. Okay? So that could be a nice starting point, and then you come and say, let's start writing a case on this. Okay? Alternatively, you might say, you have been in a class and you say, I want to teach or I want to learn how to do a particular cross-cultural integration, right? You might say, I want to learn how the Indian and Chinese managers, if they have to be put in a team together, how do I teach them to work together? Cross-cultural management. So you start from the notion of, I want to teach about a particular topic, how do I teach this? Okay? So once you have an objective, then you might say, what are the different case contexts that you know? Then with that objective in mind, you will go around finding a business context, and you will end up with the business context. Okay? So you either come from the business context and define what your learning objective can be with that case, or you sort of start from your learning objective and then go and find a business context. Okay? So these two things you can start anywhere. Okay? But the third point you should remember, I had to find what is the interesting theory here. Okay? In the sense, I got a nice acquisition context. I have an interesting learning objective of how do companies integrate acquisitions in an international context, right? So we got a business context, we got a learning objective, and then you look for what is the underlying theory that we know of. So look through the journals, look through some of the business books, and you sort of say, here is a nice framework that I can use for cross-cultural integration in an acquisition context. You got the story. So, or you might say, hey, I got a fantastic conceptual idea, conceptual model of cross-cultural integration. What can I do with that? So you can go from there, find a business context, and then spell out your learning objectives. So this is the triangle. I mean, most of your case writing will start in either one of these 3 points. So you might start with your business situation, as most of you are going to do, or sometimes, rarely, you might start with the learning objectives, or if you are one of those many faculty who are coming up with a lot of theoretical ideas, they might start from there. Hey, I have this interesting theory. How do I teach this? And what sort of business context can I get in order to teach this? Okay, so take the triangle and find out how you can start. If you got a business idea or a business context, think about what would be the other 2 corners that you can fill up. Okay.